Well, after all the fun and games of the FA Cup run over the last few episodes and finding our house and all that exciting stuff, it's back to full-on business mode for the next couple of episodes now, because the end of the season is quickly approaching and we're in very real danger of letting it all just kind of slip through our fingers. Hello and welcome to part 19 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you. We're away against Chesham and then at home against Eastbourne. Since you were last with me, form has been very, very mixed. We're struggling to get any kind of run of games together in the league, to the point where for the last couple of games, we've actually been playing a 4-3-3 with Dinanga up front on his own. And it's kind of stopped the rot defensively. But we were complete. I mean, we had nothing going forward. That game in particular, it was boring. I was bored playing this game. So we're going to go back to the 4-4-2 today. But the very indifferent form that we're in leaves us in this situation. 10 games to go this season. We have got a game in hand. So it's certainly not all doom and gloom. So if we win the game in hand, we are back in that playoff mix. But as it stands right now, we're in 9th place, 1 point outside of the playoffs. Roughly similar goal difference to all the teams around us, but that doesn't tell the whole story, because around about the time the FA Cup got juicy, we were absolutely challenging for the title. It's not outside the realms of possibility we could still be in that title race. If we win that game in hand, we'd only be 6 points behind top of the table Woking and Maidenhead, but realistically, we want to be secure in the playoffs with a few games to go. That's got to be the plan. We don't want to sneak in there on the last day again. And ideally, we want to miss out on the first round of playoffs if we can. That is a tall order, getting up into the top 3. But even if we get into the top 5, so that we at least get a home game in that first round of the playoffs, that's going to be some kind of advantage for us. But we need to push up into that playoff situation and kind of overachieve again for another season, and then make a decision, because this is non-league to legend. This isn't a road to glory, and it is getting to that point where we need to start thinking in terms of our future. If after the run that we've been on, we still don't make our way out of the National League South this season, we have to start thinking in terms of, is it time to move on to another club? Because surely there are going to be clubs interested after our FA Cup exploits. Not that we've got anyone beating down our door at the moment, which is very upsetting. But business, as I say, it's all about business initially, and first order of business is winning these two football matches. If we win these two games, everything becomes much more positive again. So this is the team that we're putting out there for the first of the two games away against Chesham. As I say, we've gone back to the 4-4-2. It should have a very familiar look for you. We've got Davies in goal, a back four of Wyatt, Suckling, McKenna and Bloor, with Patterson, Sambu, Bale and Sadie in midfield, and then Dinanga up front with Merson. I mean, it's as good a team as we've got, and it's a group of players that was quite capable of going and beating Lincoln at their place. League One Lincoln. We gave Huddersfield a good game. We are, on our day, a good team. The worry is that our day doesn't seem to come round often enough, and we perhaps need to make that happen a little bit more often. I'm a little bit worried, particularly around Dinanga, that we've talked before about how important big game players are. Well, I feel like Dinanga might only be a big game player, because we all saw how well he played in that FA Cup run against bigger teams. But he's actually only got 7 goals in the league for us all season. And I know he joined us a little bit late. He probably missed the first 6 games or so. But he's played like 20 games for us now, and he's still not in double figures for goals. And that's for a player who has scored probably as many goals in the FA Cup run as he's scored in the league. And he's only played 3 or 4 games in that. So on his day, he can absolutely tear teams apart. We just don't seem to be able to motivate him to put in those kind of performances in the league, which it's a worry. But Dinanga there does play the ball out to Patterson. Perhaps he can hear me. Perhaps he's decided today's going to be the day. Merson's in, and that's a big miss from Sam Merson, starting things off. Really should have tucked that away, or at least tested the goalkeeper. I'm never going to complain that he has a shot and it's saved, but to be through on goal like that and just have the keeper to beat, to screw it wide the way he did, is very sad. Akpabire is looking on thinking, I'm going to get my opportunity today. I can smell it, because he's not really had much in the way of an opportunity at all for these last few games. While we've been playing a 4-3-3, it's been very much the Dinanga show. Merson this time, first time of asking, hits the post. That was a little more audacious from Merson, and I won't criticise him for that one, because taking it first time over the shoulder on the volley like that, and giving it enough direction to beat the keeper and hit the post, I'll allow it. If he does that every time he's in that situation, he's going to score more often than he misses, I think. We've actually done quite well in that first half. We have been the better team. Keep doing what you're doing. And fingers crossed, something will come of it in this second half. I am thinking in terms of when we bring Akpabire on, because although Merson's looked good in the couple of highlights we've had, it seems that's all he's done. Plus he is carrying that yellow card. Blur crosses over to Denanga, and Denanga now misses a big opportunity. And officially, none of these have gone down as clear-cut chances yet, but to me, we've had a number of very good chances that have gone begging. They've now hit the post as well. McKenna's feeling nervous. We're going to get creative. McKenna's now pressured, but everyone else is inspired. I can handle our centre-back feeling a little bit of pressure on his creativity if the rest of the team's going to go out there and grab a goal for us. But I don't, someone said in the comments yesterday or the day before that we perhaps need to be a little bit more adventurous going forward in these games against teams that aren't noticeably better than us. When we play against really good teams, we've mastered the art of the quick counter-attack, catching teams on the break and grabbing goals, which perhaps is Denanga's big strength. But against teams, maybe you'd put Chesham into this camp, although Patterson crosses to Denanga and Denanga does score. That's a massively important goal for us. Puts us 1-0 up. Chesham down in the relegation zone. It shouldn't have taken us this long. But it does kind of feed into the point that I was trying to make, that someone did say in the comments yesterday, that maybe in situations like this, we shouldn't be sitting there and counter-attacking. Certainly, I mean, maybe in the away game like we're in now, we have an excuse for it, but we're still using this counter-attacking system game in, game out, at home against teams we're better than, and maybe it's time for us to be a little bit more expressive at home. But we're going to make a double substitution now. We're going to take off Sadie and Merson, because neither of them performing particularly well so far. We're going to push Denanga forward. We'll keep him as a pressing forward, but switch him to attack. And obviously at this point we are just going to keep doing what we're doing. Let's encourage the lads, and they're frustrated. What are they frustrated about? They're 1-0 up and I'm encouraging them. I need to give up with the team talks. Blur is on a yellow card, but we don't have a right back to come on for him. Adam Bale is tiring. We could bring Bosma. I think we'll bring Bosma on in midfield for the last 10 minutes or so, just to add a little bit of quality in there. We've got Bales running about, but Bosma does have that little bit more quality. And I don't know, I'm just going to leave him alone. I upset him last time I tried to talk to him. I just won't talk to you anymore, lads. If you're going to get upset with me. Bosma now plays it into Denanga. Denanga's in and scores again. Perhaps Denanga just likes to show off for the camera, because he was a world beat in the last couple of episodes. He's literally done nothing while the camera's not been rolling. And then you lot turn up again. Ooh, the Denanga fan club's here. Let's go and score 2 goals and make everyone think I'm this irreplaceable hero who doesn't even bother trying when there's nobody watching. But I can't fault him today. He's been very good. And we should have secured a nice little 2-0 win now, which puts us back into that playoff mix that we were talking about. We still have our game in hand as well. Oh, my word. Are we counting our chickens before they're hatched again? There's still more than 2 minutes left to play. And Chesham now have a goal back, and we do need to be a little. We'll give them a concentrate, I think, because what we don't want to do is let a second one in. Davies probably should have done a little bit better with the attempt to save that as well. But let's give them some concentrate. Patson with the corner. Wyatt's there, fouled. Surely he is fouled, and Denanga with the opportunity, last kick of the game to finish off his hat trick. It would only be his second hat-trick for the club, his first in the league. Can he tuck it away? He cannot. But that should have been the last kick of the game, and it is. We've won 2-1. Can't really complain about that at all. Let's give them some passion. It was a nice victory. We should have won by more than that against Chesham, but hopefully we can carry that form through into the game against Eastbourne. And kind of need to decide whether we want to be a little bit more attacking against Eastbourne. Because I think this is our game in hand, and a win in our game in hand would put us just 4 points off the top of the league. Then, and all of a sudden, a title push is back on in the space of one episode, which I love non-league. No changes for the Eastbourne team then. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. In fact, I'm an absolute liar. I did drop Sadie and bring Wilkin in. I also had Bosma in the team for a minute. I'm not sure, do I want that or that? I can't decide who's my best central midfield player out of Bosma and Bale. I think we're going to go with Bale, but we are going to bring in Wilkin on that right-hand side just to rest Sadie. And we're just trying to keep the players a little bit fit, which was my thinking behind Bale as well. In fact, I am going to go Bosma. We're going to go high energy in there. We've got Bosma and Wilkin both on 100% condition, which should help us control that midfield a little bit. That's my thinking. We've got Bale to come on and be an impact player if we need him. In fact, all three of them are positive attacking changes that we can make, and Tom Bender can play anywhere across the back four. So he's the perfect defensive substitute for us to have on there. I know a lot of you don't like a goalkeeper on the bench at this level, but that one game a season where your goalkeeper gets sent off or injured, it's always handy to have one as far as I'm concerned. So I like to keep one in there. We are going to start with the counter-attacking system that we have been using. And what can we say? We should be winning. We should be winning. Play our own game and you'll win. No, let's say we should. Am I overconfident here? I might be overconfident, but I mean, I do like the idea of a win here. This is our game in hand. A win here puts us up level on points with Torquay. Torquay do have a much better goal difference than us, so we'd still be down in 5th place. But 5th place, 4 points off the top of the league with 8 games still to go, and Maidenhead up next. All of a sudden, we're properly back in that title mix, but it does rely on us putting in a performance today. And if we don't, I think if we struggle for goals in this game, we've got to start being a little bit more positive at home. Sambu is a monster in midfield. I love that man. Merson is in behind. Where's Denanga? Denanga's just arriving now, but actually it's Bosma who arrives late. And there you go. Inspired change by manager Chapman. I'm writing your headlines for you. If the St Albans media are in, Bosma comes into the team and puts us 1-0 up after 19 minutes. Merson did very, very well to hold the ball up here because Denanga took an age to arrive in the area. So much so that both Bosma and even Sambu had arrived by the time that Merson was done holding the ball up waiting for Denanga. But either way, he found the right man. He tucked it away. 1-0 to St Albans. And apparently I can't do maths because it only puts us up to 57 points, not 58, because I forgot that pre-match it obviously already gives you the point for being 0-0. But still, that's still a good... We're still 4 points off the top, so I've done that maths right. Level with Slough is fine. A nice big gap between us and Bath is double fine with bells on. I can handle this. This is all right. Let's assertively... I am pleased with how things are going. Just keep do that again in the second half, and all will be fine in the world. I mean, we've only had 2 shots in this entire game so far. This is what we're talking about with this being a little bit more adventurous at home. We are a better team than Eastbourne. We are quite comfortably controlling the game, but we're also not really pushing forward. And I guess we scored an early goal, so you can maybe understand why we don't need to push on too much. But at the same time, we're only 1-0 up, and we are kind of inviting them onto us. Sambu, after me describing him so positively earlier in the match, is actually having quite a poor game, and I think we're going to take Sambu off, which is something I very rarely do, but he's really not playing very well at all. And Bosma's shattered. How has that happened? The man started as the fittest player on the pitch, and he's absolutely exhausted. But we are going to take off Sambu and bring on Bale. Bale is quite comfortable playing as that ball-winning midfielder, so we're going to just slot him in as a ball-winning midfielder as well. And I think we will also take off Denanga just to freshen things up. Akpabire can have a go with Merson. Denanga was just... arriving so late for the goal upset me a little bit. I want to see him running about all over the place. I know he was very good in the last game, but he needs to run about a bit more. Bale's just giving the ball away. Sambu doesn't give the ball away there, but Bale did. But it's with Bosma in the middle. Bosma plays it across to Wilkin. Wilkin, with an opportunity today, getting in ahead of Sadie, beats his man. Can he cross to find Merson? He does. He does both, but Merson can't get it past the goalkeeper. But at least that was a little bit more positive from us. I like it. Wyatt now with the throw finds Pattison. Pattison back to Bale, who's got space, finds Bosma. Can he grab his second? Plays it into Merson and grabs his 11th goal of the season. A little bit of a suspicion of offside there. We'll have a look at it in the replay. But I mean, I'm not going to argue. We're 2-0 up. 2-0 up is 2-0 up as far as I'm concerned. But I don't know. It felt a little bit offside. We're not even going to see it from that angle, are we? I guess one of the fullbacks is maybe playing him on. He was certainly ahead of the guy who was marking him. Here you go. This is going to be a better angle. And it is the right back who's playing him on. What a silly goose. He's going to get a telling off later, isn't he? but I am not going to argue with that at all. And I think it's time to switch things up out wide. Patterson's on a 6.6. We'll bring Sadie on for him. And just, again, it's all about fresh legs. We've got a little bit more fresh oomph going forward there with Sadie coming in from the left wing now. And we should just be able to see out this game, which is... I mean, we've had 2 very efficient performances in this match, in this episode. I like it. What can we say? I tell you what, I'm gonna praise you. You're doing all right, lads. You're doing good. Don't mess it up. Is there an option for just don't mess it up, lads? They're watching. They're here. Dunanga's boys are here. But we have won, and let's have a look at what that's done to the league table. Firstly, we're going to give them a little bit more passion, because that was another very good result. 2 really good performances in one episode, and we now find ourselves in a much healthier position than we were at the start, having sorted some form out. So there's 8 games remaining. We're only 4 points off the top of the league. We play Maidenhead next, and probably even more positive than just 4 points from the top of the league is that we're 5 points away from falling out of the playoffs. So having started the episode out of the playoffs completely, we're now closer to winning the league than we are falling back out with them again, with 8 games still to go. I think what I'm going to do is play it by ear a little bit for the rest of the season, and if there's a battle going on, an interesting battle around here, we'll perhaps come back a little earlier. My instinct is, if it's just looking like we're going to be in the playoffs, we'll just show you Slough and Gloucester to finish the season off. If there's a chance we could win the league with 3 or 4 games to go, and we're actually in a proper title race, I might show you 2 more episodes of the regular season. But we'll see how the next few games go. But that was some very positive stuff. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.